selections for the NCAA. But first I want to ask you this. Did you know Friday night you had your family here? Did you have any idea?
I had no idea.
When was your first inclination that when you walked on the ice, or did you kind of look to your left when you were standing
just about as we were about to walk on the ice. About 5 seconds before we went out there. Popped my head out the door, like I always do, and I saw everyone out there, and I was pretty surprised to say the least.
That's pretty amazing stuff when you see all your family here, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, especially since my grandparents haven't seen me play in over 3-4 years, and just about the same for my dad. I think it's been a while, about 2-3 years maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, or since last year, so.
What does it mean to have that game and to have the great game that you did have against them?
Oh, you have your family here, and you just want to put your best effort forward even more. I mean, you already prepare mentally for that game, but when I saw them out there, it was just that much more of a motivator.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Saturday night you won the Humanitarian of the Year award. Talk about that and your involvement in getting it.
It's really a blessing. I mean, to have like such great teammates that want to participate and not only help me out but help our community out. It's really not my efforts, but everyone's efforts on a whole. And when you have everyone, it makes it so much easier to participate and do things like that.
And you've got big shoes to fill. The guy that was behind you, or the guy that was ahead of you, Ryan
Collin, man, that guy was a workhorse. He had a job, he went to school, you know, he had Habitat for Humanity, so anything I can do to follow in his footsteps. You know, I can never live up to how much he did, but you know, I'm trying to do my best.
You enjoyed getting out there. I know you and I went to quite a few events this year.
We
did some floor hockey together this year, and we did some other events. What your thoughts on doing all that, giving back and getting involved in the community?
It's really great to see like kids, you know, they look up to you. You know, I'm just remembering like we had guest speakers in school and what it was like to see people take their time out of their day and come visit us. You know, it really means a lot. You know, we take for granted certain things, but you know, coming from you know, a bigger city to a small city, you know, there's a lot different. So you appreciate the little things.
Saturday night, you were one of 15 guys to play in the final regular season, be on the ice for the final regular season game. Talk about that, what that was like, a special moment as you got on the ice during the pregame.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to keep your emotions in check because it's kind of an emotional, you know, thing that happened last regular season home game. You know, you spent 2 years of your life here in a pretty developmental stage, and you know, for all of it to come down to that one point, it was pretty special. And I was kind of reminiscing at that point all the great memories I shared with teammates, past teammates, family, and friends. So you know, to come down to all that one moment was pretty special.
A couple of weeks ago, we were in Lone Star, North Richland Hills, and Saturday night game we had Collin Delia versus Jet Solis. We had 2 California goaltenders. We had 3 California players in that game that were players who play out, as we call it, defenseman forward. I think we had, what, 5, 6 California players in one game.
Yeah, we did.
Talk about that as you know, you see all these California guys on the ice at the same time coming to Amarillo, Texas, or to Texas.
It's strange because, you know, you wouldn't think Amarillo, Texas, or Texas in general is a hockey hotbed, but, you know, just the ideal conditions here for junior hockey. And I've actually played my whole life against Jet Solis from the first time I started out hockey. I was Pee Wee B with the Anaheim Junior Ducks. He was on the California Golden Bears, and we would duel all the time this year. Probably the best in the division at the time. So it was pretty cool to see him on the opposing team.
Do you know him personally at all?
I've never met him personally, but you know, I know him as like an acquaintance, say hi every now and then. But you know, it's cool. He's a great goalie. I just think under other circumstances he would excel even more. So
he played very well. He's a young man. You've got Dean Reimer, who's from California, and then you've got a couple of guys from Lone Star that were from the California squad as well. So.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with them, but yeah, I mean, I've always played against Dean my whole life too, so it's pretty interesting when you're finally made it on the same team.
What was that like? You know, so they played. You know, so you guys again acquaintances, not really
friends by any standard until we became teammates this year. But yeah, you always see those guys and you have a mutual respect, but now you appreciate them even more that you get to know them on a personal level.
So, what do you think of Puska's and Williams' picks for the NCAA?
Yeah, I was looking at this. I like your you having Notre Dame going to the Final Four, the Frozen Four.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how everything else pans out though. I mean, I have Lowell winning.
Yeah, Lowell winning? Why is that?
Because I had an experience like with them when they were recruiting me just to speak with Norm Desig. He's an amazing coach. With his approach to the game and things like that. And I think Connor Hellebuck is an outstanding goalie. And I think all my predictions are going off goaltending. Just goaltending.
You want me to put my surprise face on now? Why am I not surprised as a freaking goaltender?
Well, I mean, look, I got. As much as I love RMU and I appreciate the whole program, I have Minnesota over them because Wilcox is a tremendous goalie.
We've been to Minnesota together last year.
Yeah, that was a great experience.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
Oh, tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that arena's amazing. And
Okay, what else you got?
I have Notre Dame over St. Cloud State.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Summer Hayes.
Even though you went to St. Cloud, what was that experience like at St. Cloud?
Oh wow, it was very, very cool. I mean, we are privileged to tour a new school every year when we go up to the showcase, and we actually toured, I think it was 2 schools.
Minnesota State, Mankato.
Yeah,
So talk about that in a second.
yeah, so it was very cool. I mean,
What else you got here?
it's a
Ferris?
state school. Yeah.
What else you got here?
Oh, I got Ferris because obviously the goaltending of Ferris I feel is superior to Colton.
Okay, and the bottom one?
North Dakota.
Over Wisconsin?
Yeah, mainly because one of the guys I skated with in the summer, Roger Goalie, is a pretty good player.
Okay.
And I feel like he's going to carry
Let's
that.
go to the right side of the bracket. Boston College over Boston College.
Yeah, okay, Boston College, Thatcher Demko.
Okay.
California goalie, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Minnesota State Lowell, you'll of course like Connor Hellebuck and Lowell. Providence and Quinnipiac Providence to the John Gillies, right?
Of course.
I'm
In the Union, you got Collin Stevens, which is another great goalie. And of course, Roman Alvarado's going there next year.
Yeah,
So, we hear
so
about
your
that.
national semifinal is going to be what?
The national semifinal, okay, you got Notre Dame
Yeah.
facing off against Nodak. And on the other side, I have UMass Lowell and Union.
Okay. So you got Notre Dame and UMass Lowell in the final.
Yeah, I do. I think it's a good goaltending matchup.
And that'd be great. That'd be a great final. And you've
Yeah.
got Lowell winning the whole thing.
Yeah, I have Lowell winning the whole thing. I think they're going to ride that Hockey East title this year to the end.
Talk about the anticipation of winning an opportunity to go to Round next year, this fall. What's that?
And there's a lot that can go on in a young man's life, like when colleges are courting and things like that. But you really have to keep everything in perspective, keep it ahead of you, focus on what you can control and things like that. So, as long as you play your game, the rest will fall in place. So I try not to worry about the college aspect. It really does a great job of keeping guys grounded, and he takes care of that for us. So as long as we're on the straight and narrow and we're focusing on our play, that's all that really matters.
Talk about the focus of Collin Delia this year. Your record speaks for itself. You've had a phenomenal year. Your goals against average has minuscule. I think you had what? A .99 goals against average in February or something like that?
Something.
That's outrageous. Talk about that and talk about your focus this year and the freshman.
This year I really wanted to prove that I'm an elite goaltender at this level, and that's going to carry over into the next level. So I really wanted to show, not only my teammates and coaches, but everyone, my peers, and the whole league that this is the big deal. That's what they said, right? But I really couldn't do it without the support system we have here that's been provided. Great teammates, great defensive systems, and makes my job that much easier.
Well, the people in front of you, the defense that we got in front of you is pretty amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Stuart, let me just name off a few names. Stuart Pomeroy, Joe Grabowski, Brett Zane, and Brendan Vetter, all those guys are willing to stop and drop and get a block puck.
Zane will block more. The shot blocker extraordinaire. You think he should have been a goaltender making his previous life?
He might have been in a past life.
Yeah. He's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny. We always joke with him. He's got such tiny, woman feet, and his shin pads are so large. It looks kind of funky.
How does talk about Paul Barafado? Great tandem, you guys.
Yeah, really good. We've become really good friends this year. We bounce everything off each other. We hang out outside the locker room and outside the rink, and He's become a really good close friend of mine, and I'm looking forward to having a relationship as we move into college.
I wouldn't mind seeing Holy Cross against Merrimack in a Verifado match.
That would be interesting. Actually, Paulie was telling me that we play each other next year, and so it might be pretty interesting to see if we get to start against each other. That'd be good goaltending.
That would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So we've got to go after this weekend. We got the Odessa Jackalopes to close things out. Talk about that. And,
that's going to be a pretty good series, I think. You know, it's the last junior games of our career, so we're going to put everything on the line. You know, it's not going to be a weekend off by any means. You know, we're going to ride that momentum from these 2 wins into the playoffs and go to the Robertson Cup game.
Talk about the fan base in Amarillo and being in front of the fan base and the unique perspective that you guys have coming out of that tunnel and getting greeted with 4,000 fans a few weeks ago. Last over the weekend we had a combined over 6,000 for 3 games. Talk about that.
It just keeps growing every year. I mean, I'm shocked every time we see more and more fans. It seems like it keeps growing exponentially. And the energy that they bring to the building is second to none. You know, we've played all in the South, and I think no one compares to our fans. Just the energy and the support that they give us. Like, we could be losing, and they're still cheering us on. But they expect excellence, and we want to give them that.
So my question to you is: are you going to get that mask painted? When you had the Merrimack?
Of course I am. It's going to be a pretty cool experience. I've never had a mask painted in however many years of goaltending, so it's going to be pretty cool.
Was it was never something you wanted to paint? Or?
No, it was, but practice guys go head high a lot, and that paint job would get chipped up pretty easy. So as long as someone's paying for it now, I don't mind. Putting my head up there.
What would you like to put on it? Any idea?
Yeah, I've actually had a few ideas. I've been doing some research, and Merrimack back in the day was a sanctuary for soldiers and returning soldiers from World War II, and there's a church there that's pretty old, so I was thinking of having a crossing over from D-Day beaches to the church at Merrimack, just to pay a little homage to Merrimack and the fallen soldiers. So
that's pretty amazing stuff. That's pretty deep, man. That's awesome. Collin, thanks for being on our program,
thanks
my friend.
for having me.
It's great to have you here, my friend, and best of luck this week, and let's forget him. That is Collin Delia from the Amarillo Bulls on this edition of our radio show.